Armorer. Imagine walking into a shop where everything is made of metal and the shopkeeper won't stop hitting an anvil for dramatic effect. That's essentially the Armorer's vibe. Identifiable by their metallic apron, Armorers are the tank builders of the village. Their job site block is the blast furnace, which makes perfect sense since melting metal is kind of their whole thing. They spend their days hammering away at armor sets like they're crafting the next Avengers suit, only blockier and more medieval. In terms of trades, Armorers offer iron armor, chainmail pieces, shields, and even bells if you're feeling fancy, or trying to start a village raid defense siren system. Chainmail, usually unobtainable through crafting, is a unique perk here, making the Armorer your go-to source for fashionably impractical protection. But the real jackpot comes when you level them up to Expert, Enchanted Diamond Armor. Yeah, that's right, you can get the game's second best armor after Netherite without mining a single diamond just by throwing some emeralds at this metalworking maestro. The enchantments vary from basic protection to full-on unbreaking and fire resistance, turning you into a walking fortress before you even touched a cave. It's like having your personal medieval Kevlar supplier who accepts shiny green rocks as payment. What a world! Bonus tip, master level armorers sometimes offer even better enchantments, so it's worth cycling villagers until you get that dream chestplate. Just try not to judge the constant clanging, they're living their best life. Butcher. Next up is the Butcher, easily identified by their bloody apron that would make any health inspector immediately shut down their whole operation, but hey, OSHA doesn't exist in Minecraft, so we're all good. Butchers work with smokers, which is appropriate since smoking meat is literally their entire personality. Unlike a regular furnace, the smoker cooks food twice as fast, making it ideal for mass meat prep, and butchers are all about that efficiency. These protein purveyors offer an excellent source of food for players who can't be bothered to farm or hunt. For just a few emeralds, you can get your hands on cooked chicken, cooked pork chops, cooked mutton, and rabbit stew, the Minecraft equivalent of a fancy TV dinner. Rabbit stew in particular restores a whopping 10 hunger points, making it one of the most filling foods in the game, even if crafting it manually is kind of a nightmare. Higher level butchers may also offer sweet berries or dried kelp blocks depending on biome and availability, but meat remains their true calling. They'll buy raw meat and even charcoal, which makes them a decent early game emerald generator too. The Butcher is essentially that friend who always brings meat to the barbecue. Reliable, slightly concerning with their knife skills, but absolutely essential when you're hungry. Just don't ask them what happened to the village rabbits. Cartographer. The Cartographer is that friend who always has Google Maps open even when they're sitting at home. Sporting a monocle and an air of geographic superiority, cartographers work at cartography tables, where they presumably spend hours drawing tiny trees on parchment and labeling them definitely not a creeper den. While they might seem like the nerds of the village, cartographers offer some of the most valuable traits in the game: exploration maps. These magical pieces of paper lead you directly to ocean monuments, woodland mansions, and buried treasure, saving you countless hours of aimless wandering and accidental drownings. Cartographers also sell empty maps, item frames, and banners for all your navigation and decoration needs. Want to mark your base on a map like a true explorer? Well, this is your guy. At novice levels, they'll buy paper and glass panes, making them an easy target for sugarcane farmers looking to rack up emeralds. As they level up, they start requesting compasses, which are crafted with redstone and iron, but let's be real, it's a fair price for finding a structure that could take you hours to locate otherwise. However, all this convenience comes at a steep price. Cartographers are notoriously expensive, charging emeralds like they're running a luxury boutique rather than a map shop. It's highway robbery really, but when you're lost in the middle of nowhere looking for a woodland mansion, you'll wish you'd paid up. Pro tip as well is always bring a boat, a bed, and snacks. The short trip to that ocean monument is probably 5,000 blocks away. The Cleric. The Cleric is essentially the village witch doctor, minus the questionable potions and plus a fancy purple robe. With their brewing stand as a job site block, clerics are the go-to villagers for all things magical and mysterious. Their trade offerings read like a wizard's shopping list: redstone dust, lapis lazuli, glowstone, ender pearls, and even bottles of enchanting. Need ingredients for potions? Well, the Cleric's got you covered. You want to teleport around? Ender pearls are on the shelf. Trying to enchant your gear? Well, they've bottled experience for you. At higher levels, Clerics will even sell name tags, one of the rarest non-craftable items in the game, perfect for naming your pet sheep Sir Fluffington. Clerics are also one of the few villagers who buy rotten flesh, meaning you can turn zombie cleanup into profit. They'll also accept gold ingots, rabbit's feet, and scutes, so if you've got mob drops burning a hole in your chest, this robed entrepreneur is your solution. The Cleric is basically what would happen if a medieval monk got really into alchemy and decided to open a convenience store. Their prices might make you question your life choices, but when you need an ender pearl to avoid lava, you'll be thanking the purple-robed entrepreneur. Just try not to think about where they're bottling all that XP. Farmer. The farmer is the backbone of village society, the hard-working individual who actually produces food while everyone else is standing around making noises. Recognizable by their straw hat and perpetually dirty apron, farmers are as common as dirt in villages, which is fitting since dirt is their primary workspace. Their job site block is the composter, where they turn unwanted plant materials into bone meal through the magic of decomposition. It's like eco-friendly recycling but with bonus fertilizer. As for trades, farmers offer the widest variety of food items: bread, pumpkin pies, apples, cookies, and much more. At journeyman and expert levels, they sell suspicious stew, golden carrots, and glistering melon slices, the latter two being essential for high-tier potions like night vision and healing. What makes farmers especially valuable is how easy they are to level up. With a big enough carrot, potato, or wheat farm, you can spam trades and have a master level farmer churning out golden food in no time. And they don't just trade, they work. Farmers will actually plant and harvest crops even when you're not looking, feeding nearby villagers and replanting entire fields. Farmers are the only villagers who actually seem to do physical labor, planting, harvesting, and tending to crops even when you're not trading with them. It's like they missed the memo that most villagers spend their days walking into walls and staring blankly at doors. Keep them safe and they'll keep you fed. Just don't ask why their pumpkin pie never includes any eggs. The Fisherman. Sporting a fishing hat and the eternal patience of someone who stares at water all day, fishermen are the maritime merchants of Minecraft villages. Their job site block is the barrel, which is where they presumably store all those fish that mysteriously never smell despite the lack of refrigeration. Fishermen offer cooked salmon, cooked cod, and even buckets of cod for those who want to start their own aquarium. But the real prize is their enchanted fishing rod, perfect for when you want to catch fish without doing the actual fishing yourself. These rods can come with lure, luck of the sea, and unbreaking, making them excellent tools for treasure hunting from the comfort of your dock. They also sell campfires, which aren't just for ambiance. They can cook raw food without fuel and provide smoke signals for those "where's my base again" moments. Fishermen will also buy string, coal, and various types of fish, giving players a useful emerald income stream, especially early on. Despite their rather niche profession, fishermen are surprisingly useful for players who hate fishing but love eating seafood. They're the village equivalent of that friend who always posts fish pictures on social media but will at least share their catch. Plus, who else lets you buy an entire living fish in a bucket? That's customer service. The Fletcher. The Fletcher is the village's answer to medieval ammunition manufacturing. With their job site block being the completely useless outside of giving a villager this job fletching table, Fletchers are dedicated to the ancient art of making pointy sticks fly very fast. In terms of trades, Fletchers offer arrows, flint, bows, and crossbows to fulfill all your ranged combat needs. Higher level Fletchers even sell enchanted bows, crossbows, and tipped arrows that can poison, slow, or otherwise inconvenience your enemies. If you're running a skeleton farm, Fletchers can turn your extra bones and feathers into a literal arsenal. Fletchers are particularly valuable early in the game when you need arrows but don't have the patience to hunt skeletons or the resources to craft them in bulk. They also buy sticks, which is a game changer. You can turn 2 logs into 32 sticks and sell them for emeralds. With enough trees, you basically have a printing press for emeralds. They also buy feathers and flint, making them a top-tier trade partner for resource-rich players. Plus, they're one of the few villagers who actually look like they might survive a raid, armed and ready with enough arrows to make Legolas nervous. Fletchers are your personal arms dealer, except they only accept emeralds and have a strange obsession with feathers. We're not judging, we're just noticing. Leatherworker. The leatherworker is that villager who's really committed to their sustainable artisanal craft, despite the fact that nobody really wants what they're selling. Identifiable by their leather apron, obviously, leather workers operate around cauldrons, presumably for treating and dyeing the leather. Their trade offerings are primarily leather armor pieces and leather horse armor, neither of which are particularly sought after once you've progressed beyond the first day of gameplay. The only truly valuable item they sell is a saddle, and even that's only available from master level leather workers. That said, their job site block, the cauldron, is incredibly useful. You can use it to store water, lava, or powder snow, and in Bedrock Edition, it can even hold dyed water and potions. So while the leatherworker themselves might not be your first choice for trading, their workplace equipment certainly comes in handy. The Librarian. The Librarian is basically the valedictorian of the village, smart, slightly snooty, and absolutely essential when you need help with your homework, or in this case, enchantments. Identifiable by their glasses and scholarly vibe, librarians work at lecterns where they presumably read books all day while judging everyone else's literacy. Librarians offer some of the most valuable trades in the game, enchanted books. Yeah, that's right, any enchantment you're struggling to get on your enchanting table might be available from your local librarian for just a few emeralds. They also sell bookshelves, lanterns, glasses, clocks, compasses, and even name tags, making them a one-stop shop for many essential items. Their job site block, the lectern, is also useful as both a redstone component and a way to share books in multiplayer. So not only are librarians incredibly valuable for their trades, but their workstation is actually functional too. It's almost like the game developers actually thought this one through. A mason or stonemason. The mason or stonemason, if you're playing Bedrock Edition because apparently they couldn't agree on a single name, is the village's resident rock enthusiast. While most villagers are content with wood and thatch, the mason is over there polishing granite and calling it artisanal stone. Working at a stonecutter, which is actually useful for players too, masons sell various types of stone products: bricks, polished stone blocks, dripstone, terracotta, quartz, and more. They're essentially the interior designers of the village, offering decorative blocks for those who want their builds to look like something other than a wooden box. While not as immediately useful as villagers who sell gear or food, masons are invaluable for builders who need large quantities of specific stone types without mining them all themselves. They're the village equivalent of a high-end tile store, seemingly boring until you're in the middle of a build and desperately need 200 blocks of polished andesite. Nitwits. Ah, the nitwit. Proof that even in a video game, some individuals just don't contribute to society. Identifiable by their green robes and vacant expression, even more vacant than regular villagers if you can believe that, nitwits are the village's professional do-nothings. Nitwits have no job site block because they literally cannot work. You cannot assign them a profession, they cannot trade, and they serve absolutely no purpose other than making concerned noises and taking up village space. They're essentially the Minecraft equivalent of that roommate who never does the dishes but somehow always eats all the food. The only value nitwits provide is aesthetic. They're there to make the village feel more populated and diverse, but let's be honest, if you're playing Minecraft for the rich simulation of societal diversity, you might be missing the point of the game. Nitwits are useless, but there are useless villagers, and we tolerate them anyway. The Shepherd. The shepherd is the village's textile specialist, identifiable by their white apron that probably once had a pattern before it was covered in wool fuzz. Their job site block is the loom, where they weave wool into various fabrics and patterns. Unlike the real world, where shepherds actually, herd sheep, Minecraft shepherds are purely focused on the post-shearing aspects of wool production. They offer trades for colored wool, beds, carpets, paintings, and shears. It's like visiting a fabric store where everything is in block form and the salesperson never blinks. While shepherds aren't essential for survival, they're invaluable for decorators and builders who need large quantities of colored wool without dyeing it all themselves. They're the interior designers of the village, offering all the soft furnishings you need to make your blocky house feel like a blocky home. The Toolsmith. The Toolsmith is basically the village's hardware store owner, complete with a leather apron and a no-nonsense attitude. Their job site block is the smithing table, which players can also use to upgrade diamond gear to netherite, making it one of the more useful workstations for late-game players. Toolsmiths sell axes, pickaxes, shovels, and hoes made from various materials, with higher-level toolsmiths offering enchanted diamond tools. They also occasionally sell bells, because apparently tool crafting and bell making go hand in hand in the Minecraft universe. What makes toolsmiths particularly valuable is that they save you both materials and time. Crafting diamond tools requires, well, diamonds, which aren't always easy to find. With a toolsmith, you can trade emeralds, which are renewable through other villager trades, for fully formed tools, some even with enchantments. It's like skipping the crafting stage entirely and going straight to the good stuff. The Unemployed. Unemployed villagers are essentially the blank slates of the village society, Minecraft's answer to recent graduates with no work experience. Identifiable by their plain brown robes and slightly lost expression, unemployed villagers are just waiting for you, the player, to give their lives meaning through the strategic placement of job site blocks. All baby villagers grow up to be unemployed until they claim a job site, giving them a sort of hopeful quality. They represent potential. They could become any of the useful professions, except Nitwit, which is predetermined at spawn. It's like having a village full of liberal arts majors just waiting for you to build them a workplace. The ability to assign professions to unemployed villagers is what makes village trading halls so powerful. By controlling which job blocks are available, you can essentially create a custom village tailored to your specific needs. Just remember that once you trade with a villager, their profession is locked in forever, so choose wisely before that first emerald changes hands. Weaponsmith. Last but certainly not least, we have the Weaponsmith, the village's resident arms dealer. Sporting a black apron and a suspicious lack of safety equipment, weaponsmiths operate around grindstones, where they presumably sharpen all those swords they're so eager to sell you. Weaponsmiths offer swords and axes made from iron and diamond, with higher-level weaponsmiths selling enchanted versions. They're essentially the offensive counterpart to armorers, focusing on dealing damage rather than preventing it. They also sell bells occasionally, because nothing says weapons expert like being able to ring a bell really well. For speedrunners and PvP enthusiasts, weaponsmith chests are even more valuable than their trades, potentially containing obsidian, weapons, and iron, all resources that can significantly speed up progression. Their grindstone workstation is also incredibly useful for players, allowing them to repair tools and weapons or remove unwanted enchantments. The Wandering Trader. And now for the mysterious outsider, the Wandering Trader. While not technically a villager profession, these nomadic merchants spawn randomly rather than in villages. Wandering traders are too interesting to ignore in our comprehensive guide. Identifiable by their blue robes and perpetually startled expression, wandering traders randomly appear near players with 2 leash trader llamas in tow. Unlike regular villagers with predictable trade patterns, wandering traders offer a complete random selection of rare and exotic items, from packed ice to tropical fish to jungle saplings. The catch? They only stick around for about 1 in-game day before disappearing, taking their llamas and unique wares with them. It's like a traveling fair came to town, except instead of rides and cotton candy, it's blue-robed merchants selling sea pickles for exorbitant prices. Wandering traders are particularly valuable for players in biomes with limited resources, offering items that might otherwise require extensive exploration to find. Just don't get too attached, like that carnival that sets up in the grocery store parking lot. They'll be gone before you know it. And there you have it, all 15 villager professions in Minecraft, from the invaluable Librarian to the utterly useless Nitwit. Whether you're building an elaborate trading hall with perfectly curated villager professions, or just trying to figure out why that one villager keeps standing in your flower bed, understanding these blocky professionals is key to maximizing your Minecraft experience. Remember, villagers do more than just provide convenient trades. They bring life to your world, create a renewable economy, and occasionally get themselves killed in hilariously preventable ways. They're the heart and soul of Minecraft's passive mob ecosystem, With their strange noises, questionable pathfinding, and inexplicable desire to always claim your bed as their own. So next time you see a villager staring blankly at a wall or trying to pathfind their way out of a one-block hole for the 5th time that day, remember, that strange big-nosed entity might just be holding the enchanted book or diamond pickaxe you've been searching for. Treat them well, or at least don't push them into lava, and they'll reward you with trades that can transform your Minecraft experience from survival struggle to emerald-powered prosperity.